For this GTA Online video, I'll be showing you guys a money method that can make you tons and tons of money, and this is really specific to the event week that we just got for GTA Online. This money method will be the Payphone Hits, but not just the Payphone Hits, because we can also do some other things whilst waiting for the cooldown to make even more money. I am no mathematician guys, but I did manage to work out a sort of rough estimate on what you guys can make in about 4 hours time. Would be roughly around $2.1 million. Now the only reason I say 4 hours is because this is mainly because most of the other businesses take roughly 4 hours to make you guys some stock. So if we already compare this to the other businesses, you can already see it is pretty damn good. In about 1 hour's time, you can make just a little over $500,000. So you can really see how good this can be. Before we dive straight into this method, we need to talk about some requirements for the Payphone Hits. You guys will need to purchase one of the agencies. Now, it honestly does not matter which one you guys go for. They are all located in the city, or at least near the city. If anything, I would just go for the cheapest option. I believe the cheapest one is this one here, which is costing just a little over $2 million. For some reasons to buy an agency in GTA Online, there's honestly quite a few of them. The first one is because you guys can do the Dr. Dre contract to make a $1 million payout. You can then of course do the Payphone Hits. You can also do the security contract, and there is also a passive income safe, which will fill up gradually. In my opinion at least, I think the agency is by far one of the best solo businesses, so I definitely think this $2 million, maybe just a little bit more if you buy some upgrades, is completely justified. Once you guys have an agency, you will probably notice that you cannot start any Payphone Hits, and there is a reason behind this. Pretty much you will need to complete a certain amount of security contracts first, but luckily enough these things will get you guys some pretty nice money. The amount of the security contracts that you need to do to unlock Payphone Hits is only 3, so after completing your third security contract, Franklin will get in touch with you guys and say that Payphone Hits are now available. So finally, at long last, after explaining all of these different things, to start a Payphone Hit, just call Franklin on your phone, request a Payphone Hit, and you will be able to see it located on the map. Once you guys pick up the phone, you will then be in a Payphone Hit mission. If you guys have never done one of these before, you will probably find it really fun. I have played so many of them, and I honestly still find them really enjoyable. One really important feature that you guys need to make sure that you do in Payphone Hits is complete the assassination bonus. The reason for this is because a massive chunk of money will be added with this assassination bonus, and if you guys do not complete this, you will lose out on a lot. So in this specific Payphone Hit, you will see that I had to go over to the golf course and plant a remote bomb and kill the target by doing this. Kind of a brutal way to do that. But yeah, once this was done, I just had to leave the area, and you will see because of the double money and RP bonus, I made a massive payout of $90,000. Previously in GTA Online, Payphone Hits would pay out a little bit more money than this, but Rockstar did make a few tweaks, specifically to the cooldown period and the overall payout. So we get a standard payout with the double money of $30,000, and then a bonus of $60,000 for the assassination bonus. You will notice it only took me roughly 5 minutes, so yeah, really easy and straightforward. This will be where one of the big changes by Rockstar comes in, and it will be on the cooldown period. I believe in the past it used to be 20 minutes or even 45 minutes, but now because of the changes by Rockstar in the past, you will see when I go to try and start another Payphone Hit, we only have a 10-minute cooldown, which is honestly not long whatsoever. So in this 10-minute time frame, we can really do anything else. Now, personally, what I suggest to do is a security contract. You might even be able to get away with doing 2 of them. The reason I think the security contracts are the best thing to do is really just down to their payout, and there is another really good reason to do them, and that is because it will increase your overall safe's passive income with the more security contracts that you complete. So doing security contracts really just benefits the overall agency method. The agency safe is capped at $20,000 per 48 minutes, so you will need to complete 200 security contracts to get this $20,000 value, which might sound like a lot, but honestly it's not that bad. Security contracts do not take long, especially if you guys have an Oppressor Mark II. For starting one of these security contracts, you really have 2 different ways to do it. If you want to make sure that you have the best payment for the security contract, I would recommend going to your agency computer, and on here you can actually see which ones pay the most. Or instead, if you want to go through them really fast and don't really care, you can instead just call Franklin like you would for the Payphone Hits and request one like this. Because you guys have 10 minutes to kill, I would probably recommend going to the agency and starting it like that. That will overall get you more money. You guys will see in this run through I completed a Payphone Hit. In this one, it was quite funny because I had to drive a taxi off into the water with one of the clients. I did manage to get this stuck right here, and luckily I had an up and atomizer and this did the trick. So we just got that $90,000 payout. We can now start another security contract. For this one, I had to go all the way across the map to Humane Labs. So this is actually really good because it does kill a lot of time doing this. I then had to collect a delivery van and deliver it all the way back to the agency. This security contract made me $37,000, and by the time it was done, I could then start another Payphone Hit and just repeat this same cycle. Another really good thing to do with these Payphone Hits and security contracts is to have a business in the background. For example, I really like to use the acid lab. So after doing this for some time, I then went to my acid lab, resupplied and sold my stock to make even more cash. I then went straight back to doing the Payphone Hits. You will see in this one, I had to go back over to the golf course again, run over the target in one of the golf buggies. The assassination bonus was completed. I made the $90,000 again, and then just went back to doing security contracts. Doing this method is honestly so easy. Just having the Payphone Hits with a 10-minute cooldown really just makes this so good. If you guys just grind this method with the security contract, I think that you guys might be even surprised at this. I know that I was when I started doing it, and having a 10-minute cooldown is honestly just ideal. Even if the cooldown was just a little bit longer, I would probably still do it like this. I'm not sure about you guys, but I wish that the Payphone Hits had this as the standard payout. I honestly would not mind if Rockstar increased the cooldown again. I also feel like this method really just makes it less boring because you are not just doing the Payphone Hits and that is it. You are mixing things up with the security contract, which will change pretty much all the time you do them. But if you do this method too much, you will of course run into the same ones again. But in my opinion, I think it makes it faster because you already know what to do. For example, this one here where I had to go into the vanilla unicorn, find the combination to the safe. I have done this one so many times, so I know what to look for. The safe code is normally over here on the desk, down by these tables, or in this sort of booth. So yeah, this will just make things so much easier for you guys. Just remember, you can also do other things. For example, the VIP contracts are pretty similar to the security contracts. I believe security contracts will just pay out a little bit more, and of course it will increase that safe capacity, or at least the earnings of the safe, not the capacity, which I think is so worthwhile. Even if you guys do get bored of this method, you can always do the Dr. Dre contract, make another $1 million. It is really that basic, all whilst doing this completely solo. So yeah guys, that will really do it for this money method type of video. If you guys have any sorts of suggestions or anything to add to this method with the Payphone Hits, maybe for example what you guys prefer to do instead of security contracts, or maybe even a replay method to skip the cooldown entirely, make sure that you leave a comment below and let me know. But finally guys, if you went on to enjoy this video or found it useful in any way, shape or form, make sure to leave a like. I always appreciate your support, and as always, if you guys are new here and like what you see, make sure to subscribe and hit that bell icon to never miss a video. Finally guys, stay safe, thanks for watching, and I will catch you in the next one.